on a whole nother level on that. So can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Good morning and welcome back to Mona's Take. I am your host, Mona Rose, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. Live feeds, I believe it's night 6, I believe, I have to look. A lot's going on. My opinions have changed on some of the house guests, a little. Not a lot, a little. So let's get right into it. Recap. Dia's had a household right now. Ashley, Yash, and Taylor are on the block. Whoever wins the blockbuster comes off, and it's between the other two. I'm getting a strong feeling that the house is leaning towards keeping Ashley over Yash or Taylor. And Taylor over Yash. And Ashley over Yash. But we'll see who wins that blockbuster, because I think it's going to actually draw a line in the sand. Last night was kind of slow. They had the birthday party. They had the have-nots getting to eat after not eating for a week and all that. So there was a little game talk and a few things that came up, but not many. Hey, welcome back to Mona's Take. I am your host, Mona Rose, and we're here to talk about everything reality TV. The feeds are hard to watch at times. Last night they didn't have a whole lot going on. They had the birthday party for Lala. They had the celebration for all the have-nots to eat, and everybody waited to eat supper until the have-nots were able to eat at midnight, and they let them eat first, and then the rest of the house got in there on it afterwards. Alright, first off we have Devins, Barrett, and Jason talking. And Devins and Barrett are blowing smoke up Jason's ass like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And I really, really think that production did their little due diligence in the diary room. Because Jason seems to have backed off and calmed down drastically since the prior days, where he was on everybody's neck and he had this one he's getting out, and that he was going after Devins and he was going after Angela and blah blah blah. He has done a complete 180 and has calmed down and is just talking so sweet to everybody. So I'm thinking that production had a little hint in the diary room that he was playing too hard. I don't know, but that just seems like a drastic change for nothing to have happened. Devins is telling him, "You're just so sweet for what you did for my daughter, blah, blah, blah," knowing damn well that Jason said that was just a ploy to get him emotional and weak. Devins tells Jason that he's a Taylor fan and that he will not be voting her out. I'm really was curious to see what took place after this conversation with Devins and Jason. Because I figured Jason would go back and start telling people what Devin said. So far, I haven't seen that. So, I don't know. There's been a big shift in Jason, that's for sure. Now he's saying, oh, I can save Devins for later. He's going to be a target throughout the game. We don't have to get rid of him right away. Now that Camus, Haley, and Chuck have played so hard, and actually, it's not necessarily Chuck or Camus that's getting the brunt of this. Haley is getting the brunt of this hate. And I've seen her do a few things, but it's almost like a mob mentality. You know, one person goes after her, and then, oh, well, let me drag somebody else, and we got 2 on her. Well, then let me drag somebody else. And before you know it, the whole house is Haley's the problem. I don't see Haley as a problem, but also the feeds are cutting. They're not giving us a lot of game talk. Anytime game talk starts, 90% of the time they switch the feeds to something that's non-game related. So evidently Lala and Haley had some kind of argument yesterday. Got into it somehow. We didn't see any of that on the feeds. We heard Angela and Haley talking about it afterwards, but as soon as Haley started talking about the confrontation, the feeds cut. Still don't know what happened. So I guess we'll find out tonight. Maybe they'll show it on the show tonight or Thursday night. I don't know. But they're cutting a lot more than they used to. They would keep the cameras on the action. Since they've started this unlocked crap on Friday nights with Taylor and Derek, they're cutting a lot of the live feeds. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see when tonight or tomorrow night what actually happened. And I guess in a way, I can't blame them because they do need content for both the show and the unlock. And even with me being a live feeder and knowing what's going on, I still watch the episode because I want to see, number one, how CBS spins it. But number two, now that they're cutting so much out of the live feeds, some of the stuff on the show is still a surprise to me. All right, before the switch in Jason, the last thing that Jason did, and it really pissed me off because he was being like mean girl, he's talking about Angela. And he said that Angela has a little girl inside her that wasn't hot enough for the good-looking guys when she was in school or when she was younger. Who would even think of something like that? I don't know. But then, like I said, this was early yesterday. Last night, you see a whole different Jason. But I mean, Big Brother, I'm used to the scheming. I'm used to the lying. But there's no need to get personal and just nasty. I mean, I wouldn't want somebody targeting him and saying, he's a drag queen because blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't like that either. Don't attack somebody personally. Game related. Keep it game related. Alright. Angela's talking to Camus. It seems like she's trying to talk to everybody and she's trying to connect with everybody, but I can see Angela spiraling. She had the whole Jason thing, and then supposedly Haley was trying to get her and Lala fighting, and then she doesn't trust Drew's information. She thinks he's working with the other side of the house as a double agent. Dee and Barrett and Devins keeps telling her over and over and over again, Drew is good. He's with us. He tells us everything. We know everything. He's good. But you can see the paranoia slipping in. And just before I started taping this, I had it on the live feeds. And Angela was in the storage room with Dee. They had just got through with whatever conversation they had. And then Angela lays her head down and she starts talking to herself. And you can hear the spiraling. Her saying, I can't help myself. I don't trust anybody. I think everybody's conspiring. Well, I don't want to be a problem today. I want to be an asset. I really love her and I don't want, and she's just talking to herself spiraling. So for right now, Dee and Devins and Barrett have done a hell of a job talking her off the ledge. I just hope they can keep her off that ledge because she's getting ready to fall very quickly. I have a feeling. But she's purposely talking to everybody, trying to connect with them. And I think what it is she's trying to get the numbers. They've realized that Rome has started an alliance. And they've seen them going in. And they realize that it's a pretty big alliance. So they're trying to get a bigger alliance than what Rome has. The house is definitely splitting down the middle. Barrett is over Camus. They're all upstairs talking, and it was Dee and Barrett and Angela and Drew. And Camus comes up, and Ashley, and Camus comes up there. He's talking for a while or whatever. And he walks off, and Barrett said, oh, thank freaking God. It's like, you can tell Barrett's over Camus. And I don't really think, the problem with, I don't guess it's really a problem, it is for him, But the thing with Camus is Dee can talk to him and she can make him say something and she can make him think that it was his ideal. Like she can give him a plan and turn it around by the end of the conversation how it was all his ideal and stroke his ego. She's done a really good job of that. Taylor is upset because her and Ashley had a conversation. Ashley told her that the house was split down the middle and that she feels like she has the numbers and that they were voting to keep her. And well, that sent Taylor over the edge because, you know, those same people are telling Taylor that they're going to keep her. As I told you, Angela's suspicious of Drew. She doesn't trust the information. Even though he says the same information to her, Devins, and Dee at different times, it's all the same thing. Dee and Barrett are talking her down this time. It's either Devins, Dee, or Barrett. Those three, and any combination of those three, are talking her off the ledge. Camus talks to Dee later in the HOH room, and he's telling her that, yeah, she feels slighted because she put him up even after she told him that he was safe, and that it just made her look unreliable. Not that I think you're unreliable, but it does make you look unreliable, so you've got to be careful with that type of stuff. And Dee's like, if I said it in the heat of the moment. I was 30 minutes into the show and, you know, fresh off of just walking in, and I had no clue what was going on. And as we saw on the show, Dee did say it. She said, we're all safe. And I would have took that as her team. But she's new to this too. She doesn't even remember saying that. And even talking to the cameras when it's just her, she says she doesn't remember saying that. And I can see that. Like I said, heat of the moment, 30 minutes into the show, you just won first HOH, yeah, emotions and everything is high. I probably would have done the same thing. I probably wouldn't have remembered what I said, is what I mean. But I love watching her talk to Camus and have him think that it's his ideal. Like, she is so good with maintaining that relationship between her and him and letting him think that he's running the show. When in fact, Dee just put that information or that thought into his head, but he doesn't see it. He sees it as his ideal. So she's letting him run with it. But there are two sides of the house. On one side, we have side number one. I'm going to say Rome, Jason, Lala, Lyric, Taylor, Melody, and Mallory. Possibly Mallory. And Yash on one side. Well, Yash and Taylor are on the block, so that takes two of their numbers away. Well, then you have what I call Dee's side of the house, and that is Dee, Devins, Angela, Barrett, Drew, Haley, Camus, Chuck, and Ashley, possibly. They're trying to bring Ashley in, because if they can get Ashley in on their alliance, that gives them the majority of the house. So if any of those 9 people win HOH, they should be good. Camus said that Haley told him that Lala came at Dee aggressively about the nominations. And Dee said, what are you talking about? He's like, well, Lala didn't come in here after the nominations and like come at you. And Dee's like, absolutely not. She's like, she came in here, but we talked just about life and getting to know each other. She goes, we talked nothing about game. She wasn't aggressive to me at all. I love Lala. So Haley has a one-sided beef with Lala, just like Jason has with Devins. Like Lala, I don't know, she hasn't done anything. I honestly love her to death. I think she's precious as hell. But Haley doesn't like her for some reason and wants her out. And the Camus, Haley, and Chuck has kind of stayed back. He hasn't done a whole lot, but he's lumped with those 3 because he's seen with those 3 a lot. They're calling them the Cool Kids Club. Until these 2 alliances actually formed yesterday, you would see trios all over the house. And then the trios combined and they brought people in, and now we have a clear divided half the house. If everybody stays, because Melody, I'm going to tell you now, Melody's jumping ship. If it is about making her game better, she's going to leave whoever. I've seen her do it with Mallory. She was all up Mallory's ass until Mallory won the veto, or until Mallory was nominated. Then she distanced herself from her, and then she won the veto, and she was back in, and so Melody was all up her ass again. It's like I've seen her flip a switch. I don't trust Melody. There's something about that girl. I just don't trust her at all. All right, Mallory and Lyric are talking. Mallory says that she doesn't trust Jason. She says all the rumors she's heard, Jason was the source of. Yeah, this is a one-sided conversation between two people. Because Mallory keeps asking Lyric what she thinks about this one and what she thinks about that one. And Lyric's really not answering her. She's like, I'm just telling you, you need to keep your thoughts and your gameplay close to your vest. Like, don't talk so much. Well, what do you think about this one? And Lyric's like, I don't know. And she's like, well, what do you do when people ask you? And she said, I tell them I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I saw her do it when someone was questioning her about what her and Rome talk about, if they've talked about the game or whatever. And she'll say, no, really, we haven't talked about the game. I don't know how he feels about this, blah, blah, blah. When she does. I have to give it to the girl. She is good at keeping what's going on in her brain. So now there's a new alliance that's between Drew, Melody, Lyric, and Rome. And I'm not sure which he's going to be true to. If he's going to be true to Dean Devins and Angela, or if he's going to be true to Melody. I think him and Melody might end up in a showance. We'll see. They spend a lot of time together. And Jason's now telling everybody that Haley was the reason that he was fighting with Angela and with Devins, and that Haley was the one that was instigating all that. There we go again. Haley didn't instigate that shit. He said that shit because he was being mean. But you want to blame it on Haley. And I'm not taking up for Haley. Haley has been working hard. Her and Camus, they've really stood out as it's the first week and they're doing too much. Just like Devins told them, this is week 1 of a 12-week game. You're just doing too much. As far as instigating that stuff, no, she did not do. And honestly, the only thing I've seen her do is try to get Lala up as the replacement nominee. Rome and his side of the house think that Ashley's going home. Dee's side of the house, they have recruited Ashley now to work with them for now. So right now, they have 9 people. And the other one has 8. And on Jason's side with the 8, 2 of them are on the block. Versus Dee's side, 1 of them's on the block. So they still have the numbers on Dee's side no matter what. To do whatever they want. And to me, it's shaping up to look like it's going to be save Ashley, if they can. Ashley could win the blockbuster and then it's save Taylor. So Yash sounds like he's going home no matter what, if he's up against Ashley or Taylor. We'll see. Things change. Y'all know that in a beat. And then last thing before I signed off this morning, Drew and Barrett were talking and they were just saying that since they have the numbers, that everybody in that group needs to gun for the HOH. Because before they were saying, I don't need to win HOH right now. I don't need to rock the boat. I don't need to do this. I don't need it right now. But right now they need it because if they're going to keep their 9-person alliance strong, one of them's got to win HOH or 3 of them's going up. And I think, honestly, if Rome's side of the house gets it, I can see 2 things. I can see a Haley, Chuck, and Camus nomination. I can also see an Angela, Devins, and Dee combination. So at least one of them goes home. A lot of people want the vets out so that, I say vets. They're not really vets, but they've played reality TV before. The icons, I should say. Everybody wants them out because they think it's an unfair advantage to the newbies. But I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot of personalities on the newbies that I really like. So it'd be kind of boring for me if those 3 go home. I like Lala. I don't have a problem with her whatsoever. Mallory, sometimes I like her and sometimes I'm leery of her. Jason, I don't care for. I don't like his personality. I can't really think of anybody that stands out. So if Dee and Devins go and Angela goes, it's like, okay, it'll be a season of them not knowing how to play Big Brother. Because they're definitely not, used to, you'd have a lot of super fans. They could quote any part of any past shows. Now they're saying out loud how they watched 2 seasons before they came in. And they always pick 2 seasons. This time, Dee watched 26 and 16. So it's not something she was already watching. It's just, to me, it's much more fun when you have actual Big Brother players in there. People who actually love the show and watch the show all the time. But that's just me. So I'm going to get this edited. Trying to decide what I want to do on Wednesday nights. Because we're at the end of the week and things could really change quickly and then they could stay the same. If they stay the same, I may not have a video tomorrow. There's really not a lot to talk about if they're not talking game, and we're not getting to see it if they are talking game. But Thursday night, that'll give me a chance to get some rest on Thursday before staying up all night Thursday night to see who wins at a household. So if you don't see a video from me tomorrow, it's because there really wasn't anything going on. Yeah. And we'll leave it at that. I had a couple people reach out to me about doing a recap together. And if that's something that you're interested in doing, definitely email me. I am not computer savvy. So if you are and you know how to make it work with us in 2 different places, I am up for it. Because I would like to have a sounding board. Somebody to go back and forth. This is my opinion, but I like to hear y'all's opinion too. As you'll see in the comments. I encourage you. Let me know what you're thinking too. If there's something that I'm saying that you don't like, tell me. That's what makes reality TV fun for me. But that's about it for today. I will possibly see y'all tomorrow. If not, it will be, if I don't do one tomorrow, it'll be Friday morning. So until then, much love. You guys have a great night. Mwah.